There's relaxing and cozy, and then there's extremely boring. Which one does this game fall into? Well, you'd be surprised. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mabimpressions. Today I'm reviewing Solarpunk. This is an open world sandbox survival type of game. I'll be showing you some gameplay, giving you an overview on what to expect, the good, the bad, and ultimately if I recommend this game and to who, so let's get started. So as mentioned, Solarpunk is an open world survival crafting game. You can play this solo or co-op. There's no real story or narrative here. Basically, you are unnamed humans on a floating island and your only goal is to survive. How do you do that? Well, you'll find water, food, and soon after build housing and aircrafts to travel to different islands. The majority of gameplay you'll be doing is surviving, crafting, exploring, questing, automating, and creative building. There's a link to my Let's Play channel down below if you want to see the full playthrough of all the games we cover, including Solarpunk. Also follow me on Twitch where we stream most days. Thank you. Let's talk about all of the gameplay aspects here, starting with surviving. Okay, so food and water and health. In this game, you are pretty much have a ticking time on all of your food and water sort of meters here. Obviously, you get food from eating your sort of your fruits that you get in this game. You get wheat that you can turn into bread. You can cook berries. You can go ahead and grow watermelons, and to get water, you can boil some water. You can go ahead and eat berries, which give you a little bit of water, that sort of thing. And that's pretty much it. It doesn't go too far in depth with, the different foods that you get. There are some foods that you can craft that gives you a buff, like, let's say your water meter goes down a little bit more slowly, but it's not that important that you min-max the food and water situation here. As long as you got enough to keep it going, that's fine. With your HP, even though this is supposed to be a chill survival game, there is some ways that you can actually die, and there are consequences. You have your health ball there, which does refill if you are full on your food and water meter. Pretty much if you fall from great heights, you hurt your legs, you lose a little bit of HP. If you completely fall off an island, you're gonna die. If you get hit by lightning, you're gonna take some damage. And of course, if you are very low and you crash your airship, you're also going to die. So what are the consequences of that? Well, in this game, you can actually lose your inventory, but it's like another, it's like a lot of these games where, hey, if you die, you have a chance to go back and pick it up. So if you die on a random island, it's okay. You can recall back your airship, which takes a little bit of time, travel back and make sure you pick up your backpack before you die again. Basically, there's also a very, very cozy mode you can do where pretty much you just don't have to worry about losing your inventory at all if you want to do that. Okay, so let's talk about crafting. In this game, you're going to be crafting lots of things. This is a huge part of the game. So in order to break rocks that till the ground, cut down trees, you're going to be crafting tools. So you have your basic stone pickaxes and hoes. And then you're going to be upgrading to your iron stuff. And then later on, you're going to be making lots of workstations, basic workbenches for making beds. You can go ahead and make energy workbenches to help you make things for, electricity and automating. There's lots of upgrades too. At the beginning, you're going to be using a very, very small volume of your watering can to do some very, very slow watering of your farm. But then later on, you're going to be able to build a sprinkler. And so you can put a lot of stuff down, build automated mines, so you can just leave it there, come back later, and then grab iron, grab copper, grab quartz, even furnaces. You're going to start with basic furnaces where you have to put wood, leaves, and sticks in for it to go ahead and process your stuff. So you can turn iron ore into iron bars. But later on, just like, getting sprinklers and automating that, you also have access to energy furnaces, which you can make use of lots of things like solar panels. And then really late game, you can get stuff like drones to help you carry stuff and do things around. It's pretty awesome that way. Okay, time for the exploration. So in this game, you are running around and building a base on any island that you want. However, the first island you gotta have to build there, but later on, maybe around 2 or so hours in the game, you can make your airship. Now, once you have crafted your airship and your map, you can press the M button, open it up, and you can see exactly everything you have to explore. This is not an insanely crazy, gigantic game. It's pretty much a couple of islands with 1 to 2 biomes. You go on the island, grab a little bit of resources, which allows you to slowly progress, because there are some questing we'll do, which we'll talk about in a bit. But basically, the exploration in this game is all about going into a new area and unlocking new different types of resources, new animals to find in order for you to finish questing and do the thing. So you're gonna be running around and looking around. It's not like there's no caves or anything like that. There's no gigantic maps that take dozens of minutes to walk through. No, it's a quick one. You can walk on your airship and go there. So there's just different islands, and it's very easy to see. Time for questing. So in this game, even though there is no real narrative, there's no story, barely any cutscene. I think there was like one cutscene I saw where you finally build your airship at the beginning. But basically, the only sort of real direction you have is when you finally find the vendor after building your airship. You go to the vendor and he doesn't really talk to you. It's like a little machine robot, and basically he says, hey, if you give me this, I'll give you this. So basically, from the first island that you're on, you have access to different sorts of resources. All those, let's just call them tier 1 resources, like wood, iron, copper. You can go ahead and give that to him, and then he'll give you a blueprints. Now, his quest line is very, very specific. You're going to go through a lot of tier 1 resources that you have to use to build your own base by making automation. But then once you have a lot of extras, you can give it to him. Then he will give you a recipe blueprint, which you can use to unlock stuff that are also in your tier 1. A lot of these things are going to be things that really help you out, like just new automation, new technologies, but a bunch of it is just like decorations, like, oh, there's new sorts of bookshelves or animal stuff you can put on the outside. The building in this game is not too bad at all. But basically, that's the questing. Once you hit the end for the tier 1 sort of quest, he's going to give you an upgrade for your airship. Using that airship upgrade, you're able to go further out than you could, because at the beginning, you build the airship, you think you can go anywhere, but then there's a gigantic whirlwind that kind of keeps you in place. When you open up your map, there's a white circle, and that lets you know exactly how far you can go at that given time. And once you upgrade the airship, you're going to be able to go further to a couple of more different islands, and repeating the cycle of, oh, that upgrade is going to allow you to go to new islands. Those new islands are going to give you a couple of new tier 2 sort of resources. Then with those tier 2 resources, you're going to be giving it to the trader in order to get more automation, more new stuff, build new things, etc. Then you just keep going and going until you reach the end of tier 2, and then you go to your tier 3 airship, and so on until you kind of beat the game, which is around 20 or so hours. Okay, now for the last deep dive I want to talk about is the creative building. As mentioned, after 20 or so hours, your directed goals are pretty much done. You've seen everything you're going to be seeing, and the whole thing left to do is pretty much do whatever you want. Think of this portion like Minecraft, where you don't have a specific goal in Minecraft after you defeat the Ender Dragon. You pretty much do whatever you want. And in this game, there isn't much to do, but there is a lot of really nice decorating models here. Lots of really cool things, greenhouses, lots of cool shelves, lots of things where you can make your base. So you can, like, a couple of goals you can do is build very certain types of houses, make the perfect automation system, try to get every single animal the perfect housing, all that stuff. So that's pretty much it. So it's the questing, and then towards the end, creative building, and then you're off and doing the sunset, and that's pretty much it. Okay, let's talk about the good stuff first. And I want to talk about the performance. The game runs really well, but that's probably because there's not much in the game to render. It's a lot of emptiness, open up skies, and just a lot of islands. It runs well, but that's to be expected with this sort of graphical game and the amount of stuff you're actually looking at. I do have to say the game embodies the extremely coziness sort of genre really well. You get to play this at your own pace. You know, you can take your time. Yeah, you can definitely run out of food and water, but it's very easy to get it back. So you can really just chill, or you can speed through as much as you can. But basically, this game has no fighting. Survival, like I said, is not too intrusive. You can always have the mode where you don't lose your inventory on death. You're not going to really fall off your airship and all that much unless you're really, really careless. And once again, riding in the airship is kind of fun. Just running around, just be careful how you land that thing. And the last really good positive on this game is it's an extremely addicting loop. This thing kept me hooked. You're farming, you're automating, then you explore, then you craft, then you build. You do your delivery quest, which gives you more upgrades to do more farming and better automating. Then you explore again once you expand your limit there. Then you craft and build again, deliver quests all the way to the end. It's the same thing over and over and over again. But towards once you unlock new upgrades, it always gives you that sort of feeling in the back of your mind. Oh man, I'm unlocking tier 2. What kind of new machines? What kind of new workstations? What kind of new automations am I going to get? And that's what kind of keeps you playing. It doesn't give you everything at once. It shows you, okay, this is what you need to unlock tier 3. Once you get these new specific items, we're going to unlock it, and then boom, a whole new sort of goals to work towards. And then that's what's really good about this game. Time to talk about some of the bad stuff. I'm gonna give you some of my personal nitpicks first. Basically, some of the quality of life is like super annoying. Stuff like you're not being able to pick up items really well if you're holding shift and running a lot. That's really annoying. Also, I found there's no real good reason to upgrade to higher tier tools. I'm gonna give you a really specific example. You have a pickaxe, a stone pickaxe that you get at the very beginning of the game. Pretty much it only uses sticks and stones to craft. However, it maybe has around, let's say 25% durability as an iron pickaxe. You're like, okay, I'll just make the iron pickaxe. You make the iron pickaxe and it doesn't do anything new other than give you more durability. It doesn't allow you to, it doesn't allow you to break a higher tier mineral for you to get, nor does it give you more minerals. It literally is there in order to make it so you don't have to craft that many pickaxes. However, you can only build that pickaxe at a workstation with iron, and you need iron to build a lot of the very early and mid automation and tools. So you definitely don't want to keep making it to build a random, to random axes, pickaxes, or hoes. Just keep building those stone ones that break a little bit easier, but it does essentially the same thing. So I would have loved if those, basically if those tools just gave you a little more resources to craft them, because I'd rather just keep picking up stones and sticks because they're like everywhere, that sort of thing. So, and also the stored solutions in this game are not the best. It's really annoying when you have to run around and build a million chests. You guys ever played Pocopia? It's kind of like that, except there's no way to actually mark your chest. Pocopia, you can at least put like an album up and put something in it. But here, you don't really have that option. You just put a bunch of things on the ground, at least towards the beginning and mid section where you get a lot of stuff. Later on, it gets a little bit better, but man, the majority of the first couple of hours, you're just, the solutions for inventory is really, really bad. Let's talk about now the size of the game. Now, islands are way too barren, in my opinion. The amounts of islands are very, very low. When you start getting into your airship and you unlock the map, you press that M button, and then you get to see, boom, you get to blow it out, you get to see all the map, and you're like, wow, this is the first section, is it? This is really awesome. I get to go to all these islands. That's the whole game, baby. That's the whole game. But it just takes you a long time to be able to open up this circle to reach those thingies. I kind of wish, I don't mind if it was that large, but I think you need to keep players' expectations higher, if that makes any sense. Like, keep their sense of discovery better. So they should have made it so when you first open up the map, you could only see your circle and not everything around it. So once you upgrade your circle, it goes out again. And then you're like, oh my god, how big does the game go? When you get to tier 3 airship, it opens up the circle map again visually. And then the final one, it keeps going. That would have been a much better gameplay loop instead of seeing like, okay, I'm just seeing this circle, I'm seeing this circle now, the whole thing. Seeing it all at the beginning kind of ruins the wonder and discovery. So it would have been nice at the beginning if it just slowly expanded visually instead of showing you all at once, which is not a lot. It's very unimpressive how much islands are actually in the game. The final bad thing is the game is very, very grindy. Now, this is once again a dual-edged sword. You have to be in the right mindset for this game. I actually do like these sort of games where it's just slow progression, getting to new biomes, running around. You know, I really like playing games like Ark, Conan, Enshrouded, Valheim, but those games have a lot more than this. Like the games I just mentioned, you can't really say they're cozy games. It's a lot of fighting, a lot of exploring, boss battles, raids, even Power World has that. This one, it's much more chill. So if you ever wanted to play those games, but you don't want to deal with like, you know, like even Grounded being attacked by a lot of bugs or something, then this is your game. You can just play this for like a couple of sessions and be pretty much done with it. But the grindy aspect is just that. It's everything with, you know, everything that those games have that I just said without the crazy overall action. It's just farming and automating, and that's pretty much it. Okay, time for the verdict. Do I recommend this game at all? I'd say at $23, it's teetering on okay. I think at $15, this would be great, especially if you want to play with friends. Everyone buying it at 15 would be good. Everyone buying it at 23 bucks, a little bit of a stretch with how much of game is actually here, because like I said, the whole thing is just same grindy farm, explore, automate, quests, upgrade, and then it's the same loop over and over again. So if you play till the end though, I think you'll get around 20 or so hours, depending if you play with friends and how fast you go. You have to definitely go in with the expectations that there is no high action battling, large biomes to explore, just a couple of small islands, or even huge story cutscenes. I can't believe it didn't start with anything. You just get thrown into the game, which is, you know, sometimes good and bad. It's just you're farming, building up to moderate automation, leading up to you being able to build your coziest estates. So play with friends and you'll have a couple of fun sessions with you guys dividing roles, like you gather, you build, I'll craft, you know, very, very, once again, cozy, chill session sort of game. Everything is still easily done in solo, slow and beginning, but things really ramp up once you start getting automation and definitely drones going. So that was my thoughts on Solarpunk. Whether you agree or disagree, I would like to know your thoughts. Please comment down below. Make sure to subscribe to my Let's Play YouTube channel, MabiVsGames 2, if you want to see my full playthrough of this. I'm uploading all of it on there. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.